Hey, why is
What were you saying there? I heard why is something.
there's no hockey for like 3 days in a row?
Yeah, it sucks. Ruined the last week. I needed the extra day or two.
They must not want to be competing with the basketball, football shit that's going on right now.
Yeah, I
Which
think it was the
it's fucked up.
NFL.
I had a family member complaining that normally on Christmas we just watch basketball because there's no football, and then the NFL flexed out 3 games.
No,
And
it's kind of been like that.
No, they're more for Thanksgiving. Christmas is for basketball, and they like totally fucked the NBA over and ruined their numbers.
Yeah, but last year,
I don't care. I don't.
last year
it
Christmas
doesn't
was
matter
on a
to me.
Sunday, so obviously football went, and then this year it was on a Monday, so it's gonna happen. But next year it probably won't happen because it'll be on a Tuesday, so football will be done. I could see them stretching it though into that day because the viewership.
Well, there should have just been a Monday night game.
Yeah, they should.
Like
They made it a thing.
is where the NBA makes a ton of money on Christmas, and they had, I think the one games. I don't know if it started at 1 or earlier. I feel like it might have started even earlier than 1.
So there was a Trump fight at your Christmas thing.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, my
Was it over?
Such a faggot, man. He really is like. So he like knows like everyone there like doesn't like him, so he is just acting like a sociopath, being rude to people and just being a complete asshole. I think like he's kind of like done now. Like Pat said, like he doesn't want him coming over anymore. This is like
this was it.
Well, he didn't even go to Thanksgiving because it was at my aunt's house, and
right?
my aunt like has always hated him. You want to hear something fucked up? But so my cousin had a birthday party at his house. It was me, my cousin, and Sante, and somebody else. And at a certain point, we're all like, this is back when you had like sleepovers.
Yeah.
So we're all like getting ready for like the sleepover, and then she told my cousin that he had to go, home because my cousin Greg said, I don't want Matt staying over. Like nobody wants him to hang out with us.
Well, that's awkward.
It was so awkward. And my aunt like hated
the other aunt.
For she probably still does. I mean, but I was like too young to really know what was going on.
Yeah, I would say I think
everyone was like glad that he wasn't around.
Yeah, but I do think your aunt probably was in the wrong on that one. Especially, it's like how old was?
Oh, that's so fucked up to tell little kids. Like,
yeah. So I mean, how old was he? 8 or something?
I'm not sure exactly. I think
probably something like under 10, right?
Well, we watched the X-Files, so.
Well, that depends. That could be like 91 with X-Files, right? Isn't that when it started?
Kind of, yeah. No. It was like early X-Files, like the Chupacabra episode.
Yeah, but also it's hard to tell because they replay a lot of shit with X-Files. No,
they weren't replaying it then. This is like.
Well, it started in 1993.
Oh, so then it probably was replayed because 93. I was like, not probably even.
The Chupacabra episode though is from 1997, which sounds probably
okay. Right. So that's probably.
So he was an 11-year-old kid. That's a little messed up.
Yeah, he's an obnoxious.
It kind of sounds like you're
douchebag. Nobody likes him or wants him around, and it's almost like he knows that. And instead of like trying to be like more acceptable, he just is even more of an annoying bitch, and tries to.
He's probably done too.
It's like no one there, and he was right. He's like nobody there wanted him there either. It's like he's just like so lame.
Yeah.
Like no matter what the conversation is, he just wants to chime in with like some annoying, like stupid bullshit.
Yeah, he's
and everyone's just like eventually like walks away, and then he's just like sitting there by himself.
Oh yeah, I mean he's a character, man. The funny thing is, I don't think he's that bad one-on-one, but I could in a family scenario, I think he'd be super weird. In a social scenario, he's not that bad.
I'd
have to be around other people. kind of thing. But also, it's like people he likes are fucking weird,
I've
man.
had to like hang out with them so much more than I ever wanted to, and now that I have a choice, I'm glad that I don't need to, other than shit like this.
Yeah, well, that could be the last time he's there. That kind of shit happens, man. People just like excommunicated.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's best for him to just like move out of the country. I thought that his plan was to go to like Thailand and fuck ladyboys and shit for the rest of his life.
He changed up. What's his plan now?
To
No
live
plan.
with my aunt and wait till she dies, and probably then just live in the house. That's
is he in New Jersey?
I don't know. I guess so.
I don't think.
Otherwise, he wouldn't have been around if he were somewhere else.
I think he's back for the holidays, kind of thing.
that makes no sense because like nobody, he doesn't like get invited to shit. Like no one wants him
with his
for the holidays. So to come back,
his direct family, right? Like his mom and his sister.
Well, normally we would go up to like West Orange, but what happened was during COVID, they said like if you don't get vaccinated, you're not allowed to come, and he was like insanely like against all of it, even more than just like not wanting to do it, but like, you know, he was sharing like, oh fuck the conspiracy theories, and then they have like a grandmother who was like already compromised health-wise, so they really didn't want him being around. And then from then on, I think it was like it's been like 2 to 3 years, they've never been invited back, and they don't go there anymore, so now we got to deal with that shit.
Yeah, that's
nice.
Kind of.
They used to go there every year, and we wouldn't have to see them for Thanksgiving. But now it's like they don't have anywhere else to go, so we got to fucking do it.
That sucks. Well, that's interesting. What was the Trump fight over? Like, is he anti-Trump?
I don't know. I just
but he's it's funny. He's a conspiracy theorist, so it's weird. A lot of times you can't tell.
I think
sometimes
it's more he just knows Pat's affiliation and like
wants to piss him off,
devotion to it, and wants to be like just an annoyance. That's the thing. Is like he's just going out of his way to be a bitch. Like when he first walked in, he said, "Oh, okay, you guys can stop talking about me now." It's like, bro, like no one even thought you were coming.
Oh wow, he's like, oh wow, man, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, he's just like immediately like the lamest fucking room, like, and wants as much negative attention as possible. It's like, and everyone's just like we didn't even know you're gonna be here, let alone say anything.
We just want to get through. I honestly, I'm kind of like
everyone's still just like let's like get through this without any bullshit and make sure like nobody falls down or like some baby hits its head against some shit.
Yeah, I mean the whole holidays thing. I mean they're all right, but it's like same time I'm kind of happy when it's done.
No, yeah, it's not even like the actual day of. It's just knowing it's gonna happen like 1 to 2 weeks from then. And
that's the worst part of it. Yeah, I agree.
That's with anything. I don't like having something hanging over my head all the time that I have to think about. I just rather like be over with.
Yep. No, yeah. That's I mean, I'm feeling that for New Year's now. It's like, I mean, I'm not gonna mind going to do some things, but like still it's still that you're thinking about it, and it's like it's annoying. I know exactly what you're talking about.
New Year's is not as forced as like
a major
holiday that like family has to get together. That's more like just kind of the pressure friend force kind of experience for it.
Yeah, or it's like thinking that you have to do something, which is stupid because I feel like it's actually I think like the worst.
Yeah, it's like a birthday, you know. Like a lot of times, I don't really like go out of my way to have like big birthday shit, you know.
Yeah, it's exactly like that, where it's like people know it's a thing, so we have to.
Yeah, the expectations there when it's just kind of forced.
Yeah. But speaking of forced and terrible, Disney's coming up here. I only have 2 things to talk about here. But Disney, Willow series actor is suing Disney. And I guess it's not surprising, right? Disney's getting sued. They always seem to be. Always seems to be someone trying to sue them, trying to get their money.
What's the grievance?
I'll get into it. But Warwick Davis, this has been an embarrassing year for Disney, and actually they're one of their worst. I think it could be the worst financial year for them ever. It's up there for sure.
I know, but I mean, this might be considered conspiracy theory shit. I feel like a lot of that is intentional.
It could be. I think it could be. I think also unintentionally. I think the COVID shit is still like has this rattling, like like a shitty. It was a shitty thing for the movies moving forward, and I think it's kind of going away. But like
Yeah, but
it still
it
hit
was
them.
bad for theaters, but wasn't it really good for streaming?
You would think so, but it actually wasn't good. Like Disney didn't do good. Disney's been.
Oh,
It's funny. You really would
maybe
think so,
stupid
but
shit
it
like
wasn't.
this is better for it in theater experience with like a bunch of little kids who don't know what the fuck's going on.
I think the biggest thing is if you don't put out something good, no one cares. That's part of this. And even Warwick Davis, he's asking Disney what he should tell to the Willow fans who missed the show. He says it's embarrassing. And I was trying to think like, hey,
All
hey,
five of them.
yeah, hey Warwick, I don't know where you're gonna find those. I mean, where are you gonna find those? You sure about that, Willow?
You sure about that? You sure about that? That's why? You sure it wasn't because after the thing that happened to me, no one could look at me without dying laughing? You sure about that? You sure about that's not why?
Yeah, and even like Disney Plus, is they removed Willow, which shows you it's like they spent money to make it, but they dislike it so much or it wasn't liked enough that they feel like it's not even worth keeping. And it's just I guess they just don't want to pay anyone any kind of royalties on it, which is strange because I looked this up. They spent $105 million on it totally. I think it's like a 6-episode thing, so I'm
Did you
not doing the
watch
math
it?
on that. I honestly tried to watch it. It was one of those I couldn't like get through like 40 minutes of it, and I was like, no, I'm not watching this. I was like gonna maybe try to watch it, and I was like, no, I can't do this. It's bad.
Why do they think Warwick Davis would be enough of a draw for anybody who was even still like remotely cognizant of his career?
I think it's just that they thought that Willow was a more liked series than it was. I don't think it ever really was. I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, I mean, it came out like back when there was only like so much shit to even watch or rent, and you ended up seeing Willow just because of it. It wasn't
yeah,
like
and it was
some
just
great fucking undertaking.
yeah, and even like I liked it, but it wasn't like anything. I don't know how to explain it. It's like I liked it, but I didn't like. Oh, I need to go watch Willow a bunch of times. It was just sort of like there and decent. It never was anything more than that, And I think Disney, because they own it's really this. They own Lucasfilm properties, so they wanted to use as much of the Lucasfilm stuff they could do because they bought Lucasfilm. So that means they wanted to do Indiana Jones, they wanted to do Willow, they wanted to do Star Wars. So they're trying to get their maximize the spending on that. That's about it,
And then
really.
once those motherfuckers die, they'll have Back to the Future.
I don't know what is Back to the Future. I think that's on a different studio. I think it's Universal Back to the Future because it is because I remember they had a Back to the Future ride at Universal Studios.
You know what's funny? Like they're being so, holier than thou for that shit. But I mean, aren't there? There's already been bad Back to the Future movies that came out right after.
I kind of think the second and third one aren't that good. I think the third one sucks, but I
know
kind of
that's
don't
what I'm
think the
saying.
second one's all that good.
They're acting like it was such a fucking great group of shit. Once what's her name? Leah Thompson was gone. I don't really remember much. Elizabeth Shue, I think, replaced her.
I mean, the second one was okay. It's when they go into the future and they're in like the future world. You see Elijah Wood playing video games and a fucking hoverboard and all that shit. Like, it was okay, but the third one, the to the west one, was really bad.
That's with Becker's wife.
Yes, Steenberg or whatever.
Yeah, or Larry. Do you remember from Curb where try and prove a point, he calls her up and asks her out because Becker's trying to go out with Cheryl.
Oh yeah, exactly. So he's trying to
like false pretense because like Larry had some kind of like injury and he thought Becker was coming over to like see how he was doing, but really he was just there to say, "Can I take out Cheryl and fuck her?"
Yeah. No, I always kind of like Mary Steenburgen. She's in Step Brothers and Elf. I mean, she must be friends with Will Ferrell. I'm wondering. She probably there's something there with that.
She's in Clifford. She's in what else?
She's in a few things. She's always decent. Willow also, by the way, was supposed to be. Well, and we'll kind of get into this because, well, actually, this is interesting. He would have done this. Willow was supposed to be The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. That's why they wanted to get the rights. Ron Howard wanted to get the rights to it to do a live action version, and that's sort of where like the midgets came in, because then they were like, oh, we still just want to do a fantasy movie and have midgets in it. And that's sort of where Willow came from. So it was a little bit of a thing, but the guy who's suing is, I didn't know he's in this show. I like this guy. I like this actor. Ralph Ineson. He's a British actor. He was from The Witch. I don't know if you remember him from The Witch.
Oh, I thought you could say Ralph Malph from Happy
No,
Days.
not Ralph Malph. Ralph Malph, I think, is dead, man.
What's Potsy doing lately?
A whole lot of pot, man. He's in California. He should have a dispensary.
Potsy?
Potsy's.
No, I thought his nickname stemmed from like some toilet incident.
Probably, yeah. Something from the 50s. You know this guy, Ralph Ineson, I don't know. Witch. Game of Thrones.
His father.
He's got some
That's all I
connection
know
to.
of him.
Yeah, he's got some connection to Robert Eggers or whatever. He's in The Northman.
Okay. He's probably like one of the people when he first started out that would be willing to work with him.
Yeah, he's in a few things. Oh yeah, he's in the Star Wars, of course. Yeah, he gets some part. Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff actually. In a lot of stuff. The Kingsman thing. Yeah, but he's suing because he hurt his shoulder while filming. So this is more shit to Disney. He alleges that he sustained an injury filming on the fantasy show Willow. It was a fantasy, all right. Night shoot.
Fantasy was gonna be successful, but fucking Warwick Davis is the lead.
Yeah, well, he wasn't. That's another thing. He wasn't the lead. The result. No, it was about like a lesbian. It again had all the gay stuff in it. It was like a lesbian girl who was trying to get a princess.
To that,
I think it's Val Kilmer's daughter or his son is in it, but like, there's a big lesbian romance thing. That's all I remember really seeing in that. That was the main character. Was like some kind of tough girl kind of thing. It's not like any other things does these tough girl characters. So I guess they're like, let's do another one. But yeah, in South Wales in July, he was dressed as a knight in armor, battling with a 9-foot-tall ogre, and he fell awkwardly and dislocated his shoulder.
Okay.
So now he's suing. He's suing for about $200,000. Claim his injuries prevent him from taking subsequent physical roles, which is interesting because I think this guy is like not that young. Is he really going to be taking physical roles? He's 54. Not that old either, but I don't know. His suit is the producer's liable for all this shit. Just more bad luck for them. He got his break in the Office, the UK Office, and he was in Harry Potter, Game of Thrones. I know.
Oh, okay. So Robert Eggers saw him in the UK Office and said, "I want this guy in my shit."
Could be that, yeah. And also, I guess liked working with him on The Witch, and then put him in other things because he had like a tiny role in The Northman. Same with like what's it? I guess he liked working with that crazy German guy.
Klaus Kinski?
No, the other one. The one.
Werner Herzog?
No, the other one. Willem Dafoe.
Oh.
Yeah, he seems like
it's a longer list than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's more than you think. There's 3 crazy Germans that are famous.
Kinski and Herzog kind of go together, so it's almost like one entry.
But I think that guy Kinski kind of looks like William Dafoe though too. There's like a weird similarity.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think that's by accident. I feel like it's almost like a lineage.
Could be. Or yeah, it could be like if we're getting a German guy, we know him, so it all just like kind of comes up. I could see that. I could see that. But yeah, Willow, I couldn't make it through. I bet you most people couldn't make it through. It's bad, man. There's a new series
What's
on
so
Disney.
bad about it?
It was just like I said, it was just not interesting. Again, all the forced. It also was this. You could tell they're trying to aim for a teen audience. It kind of had a YA vibe to it, like that young adult kind of shit. So that was part of it. It wasn't really made for me, but I don't know. I don't think they make anything for. We're cast out. We're done, man. Hollywood's not making anything for people that are 30 years old, like from the different generation. They're trying to get these.
They don't want the people reviewing Captain Marvel. They want the people dumb enough to either see it on their own volition or make their parents are bringing them to go see it in some party.
Well, I think movies used to skate by with a lot of shit like that, where they just knew like some asshole kids exactly for like a party are gonna have to go to a movie, so they think they'll go out the weekend to go see it. Like, and even like we used to do that. We used to go to fucking movies for no reason. Like just let's go to a movie because we got nothing to do.
Yeah, because it was also like our parents.
We saw some strange shit then.
To be at home with us for a certain amount of time, like they needed a break.
Yeah, but we also wanted to like. Oh, but even I'm talking, I guess, older, like high school. We wanted to like go out of the house to like probably smoke weed, and then we needed to do something while we're out because we're high, that kind of thing. So
yeah, most of the time we just like drive around, and there were certain cul-de-sacs that you knew were pretty kind of. Then we get they were definitely like bored cul-de-sacs that were like well positioned to be devoid of any activity.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, we're in that kind of town.
The whole section before you got to like Wawa and all the Six Flags area.
Oh yeah, like we had tons of spots.
Like Aaron's Development. If you take that all the way down,
honestly,
it's like just a bunch of empty sidewalks that don't even go anywhere.
Honestly, almost most streets in our entire town you could do that for. That's why it was like perfect.
Well, I got into trouble with that because I thought I could go into like the nursery. And then every once in a while, there would be people that worked in the nursery in like a pickup that would be driving around and shit and wonder why you were there.
They probably didn't give a shit though. That's the funny thing is they probably knew.
Most didn't care, but then
it would freak us out.
Like this is like trespassing. You shouldn't be on this property stuff.
Yeah,
because a lot of it was like fenced in, and then they had signs up saying like you can't go past like beyond this point type of shit.
Oh yeah, but also I think we used to like we would do that, but then we would like we need something to do, so we'd go to the mall and we'd walk around, and then it'd be like we need something to do, let's go to the movie. We saw like
I remember
Cheaper by the Dozen
walking from the mall to the movies when I when we were like not driving.
Yeah, and then exactly crazy shit.
It's not that far, but it's at least like I don't know what 10.
But it's not minutes. Like it's funny. It's not like a. I don't know. There's no sidewalk. It's like not a walk. It's not really a walkable thing either.
No,
you can do it.
Go like around a guardrail, and then you just look like some, like
or like you cut through the field that's like right there that you're not supposed to probably be in. But yeah, the good times, man. Smoking weed before going to see Cheaper by the Dozen, and wondering why we went and saw this movie. That's the one I remember the most. Like I was like, why? Like why were we here?
I don't think we actually paid money to see it. I think Andrew was on a date seeing it, and then we were already there, and then just went into the theater. I don't think any of us paid money.
Oh yeah, that's right. We used to get let in from the back. I do remember that.
There was a side door that was
the side door
only with no
like no camera back then. Yeah.
So the only way to get in or out was if somebody, like you
someone
said,
had to buy at least a ticket.
Because there was no way of getting back in once you left.
Yeah, and also back then there was no like assigned seats or any of that shit. Like once there was none of that picking a seat kind of crap, which is stupid. And now AMC they charge you.
You could also find like ticket stubs.
And like go back in.
and act like you've already been in one of the movies. Because
Yep.
they won't. They're just like checking the stub. They don't actually look at what it says on it most of the time.
Do that like shitty theater I go to now. Like they don't even have anyone checking tickets. You can literally just walk in. I mean, I always do buy a ticket because I feel like I would feel horrible like ripping that place off. That's probably like 3 days away from being closed. But you can just go right in. Just walk right in. Especially like let's say you go to the snack thing and you buy something there, they're not gonna like bat it. They're gonna assume you have a ticket. But just you can just walk right in. No one's even looking. They're all like, shithead teenagers that are working behind the counter, but not at the ticket thing. Doesn't make any sense. They don't stand at that little like entrance. You can just go in.
Well, I've also noticed sometimes they'll have like mentally challenged people work jobs like checking tickets and stuff, just because they don't really, they don't care who's doing it.
Yeah. Now here's a guy who was ahead of his time, JRR Tolkien, man. Hated Disney. I read this whole letter and all him talking about it. He was ahead of his time here. He was a WizardShack supporter before he even knew it.
His newer competition though.
Actually, similar time frame. Here's a picture of him right here, giving his regards to Disney.
Wait, you didn't Photoshop that? That's actual.
Yeah, that's real. No, that's very photo. You can tell the finger looks like a different color than his face. Like, I didn't Photoshop this, but I found the image. But yeah, he hated Disney. And same with C.S. Lewis. They both hated Disney. They had a big well. They're around their contemporaries. The Hobbit only came out 3 months before Snow White came out. So it wasn't like either of them took it from each other or anything, but there was this kind of close nature of both things. And I think that probably pissed off Tolkien with the whole dwarves and shit. So that looks to be the major contempt he has for Disney. But he said he thought Walt Disney was a cheat, and he found his movies disgusting. Which is, I haven't heard a lot of people say that about Walt Disney, so I was kind of like, you don't hear a lot of dirt on him that much. I don't know. I think when I was reading his like opinion why, I was like, oh, he does have a point. Like, it's there. But yeah, he made a vow that he would never let Disney touch the Lord of the Rings. That was his big thing, and it never has. And the closest he's kind of got was probably that Ron Howard talks. That wouldn't have not even been Disney. It would have been Lucasfilm, but Lucasfilm always had this back pocket deal with Disney. That's why like there was a Star Wars ride in Disney for like a long time. We always had this little connection. It's always been there a little bit. But yeah, let me see. What do you say about Disney work? Let's see. Yeah, and so it first published around 1937, and then that was September, The Hobbit, and then in December of 1937. So really, only like 2-3 months. The Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs made its debut, and based on the Grimm fairy tale, which J.R.R. Tolkien would have definitely known, and it really doesn't follow the fairy tale, as you wouldn't really assume. Him and C.S. Lewis went and saw the movie, which I think that's an interesting crowd to go watch an animated movie together. And he didn't like it either. Because I was reading his thoughts on it too. He called Disney a poor boob, and said that watching he called him, I guess, like a dumbass. He probably couldn't say, like he said watching like the dwarf scene where they're like singing. He said was like watching like terrible jazz. Like I don't think he liked jazz either. They're too like old school. They're his like probably borderline something racist you wanted to say. They did like some things. I said there was some good bits with the animations. So it's like they understood that the animation and like the style was really good because it is like pretty awesome. All those old Disney things. They don't make cartoons like that anymore. And it was all done here, which is even crazier. I mean, you know that, like, they're not making painting backdrops anymore.
What, like watercolor? You mean?
Yeah, I mean, like Miyazaki does it, but like, there's a lot more to it than like the artistry in those movies is like the different level.
Yeah, I figured out really fast that hand drawn was kind of fucked.
Yeah, and even besides from hand drawn, like those
it was
people
all
who are
about
doing
Flash.
Yeah, and the people doing like those matte paintings, that shit's dead too. I mean, like, there's digital matte painters now, but that was like a big thing. That's a whole different style than animation. Like, you have to be like a painter and like ultra realistic. That's like way different than even hand animation, you know? Like, but like serious talent, you know, just different than, you know, using Flash or computer stuff. I don't know. It doesn't feel the same way. It doesn't have the same feel. A lot of that stuff. Like, I've never liked that Pixar style of animation. Never has done anything for me.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of where I checked out. You know, I was trying to do like Nickelodeon, Disney old shit, but at that point it was like phased out completely.
Yeah, I think
It's
Toy Story
through like stop motion. A lot of things will mix in practical effects like they do in films, where you'll get
see it in commercials sometimes.
Not claymation, but
a little bit. I mean, because you see it in commercials because they have that short time frame. So you could spend a lot for that short time. So that's like really only place you'll see it.
Well,
it's not cheap to do these things.
I used to do a lot of stuff with colored pencils, and then I saw some shit come out, and it was not done with colored pencils. There's just like effects that have.
Oh yeah, you can make it look like a color pencil.
Yeah.
Yep, and you could like program it so it looks like it's like in motion. You know, like like that. I mean, that was like that new
those Red Bull commercials.
Yeah, and then I will say this, like that new Ninja Turtles movie, which was honestly almost a little bit like hurt your mind, but it had all these like scribble, like anytime it was like they're trying to make it look like it was hand drawn, because anytime they moved, like their outlines would kind of wobble and wiggle, like it was like it was ultra stylized, which was kind of cool, but it did get a little annoying. It wasn't good to like watch. It felt hard. It felt bad on the brain or something. And that actually wasn't as terrible as I thought. It was actually, for what it was, pretty good. It was all right. But yeah, didn't like Walt Disney. Yeah, let me see what he said. Yeah, he didn't like that it was a brash American, which I don't know if. Funny thing is, I don't know if I'd consider Walt Disney a brash American. Maybe from the outside looking in. I don't know. He doesn't come off like that though. Like, Trump's a brash American. I get someone saying that. Disney, Walt Disney, I don't know.
In the
to him, maybe
context of the time.
Yeah, I mean, maybe to Tolkien, who's like,
if everything's like really conservative and shit, then that is brash.
Yeah, it is also kind of interesting too, because in a sense they're contemporaries, because you know both C.S. Lewis, Tolkien, Disney, like they're born around, you know, the turn of the century, like 1898 to like 1901, you know, and even both Disney and C.S. Lewis died around the same era, like 63 and 66. Tolkien died in the 70s, 70 or 73 or 4, something like that. So it is kind of weird. They're from the same time period in a sense. But yeah, he didn't like that. I think it's this. He didn't like that he was trying to make money off fairy tales. I think that was an important thing to Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, especially with like what they're saying here with the mythology and the Germanic and Nordic myths. You know, there was a look for dwarves, and you know, depicted a certain way, and also had this like a mythology, you know, standpoint to them that is like how they should be, how they should act, that kind of stuff. There's history to it that was kind of just ignored to have some goofy, you know, dwarves doing a jazz number or something, like he said. Yeah, he said he even admitted he's not innocent of the profit motive, which is fine because you gotta make money in this world. But he called Disney simply a cheat. willing and even eager to defraud the less experienced by trickery sufficiently legal to keep him out of jail. Okay, yeah. And he never gave any proposal from Disney any consideration at all. He said, I recognize his talent, but it's always seemed to me hopelessly corrupt. Though in most of the pictures proceeding from his studios, there are admirable, charming passages, which is true. The effect of them is... But the effect of them all to me is disgusting. Some have even given me nausea. I get it. I see what he's saying. I think he just absolutely does not. And that's something that people don't realize, how all those old Disney movies are other people's stories. That's one thing that I didn't learn until later. Like, you know, Little Mermaids, Hans Christian Andersen, but most of the other fairy tales are all the Grimm brothers. So he took all these things that were, you know, legal to use, and you'd think they're his.
Well, yeah, I mean, people get annoyed with remakes and reboots and shit, but how is that any different just for literature? It's just people don't know or understand that it's been happening.
Yeah, it's not. I think that is, see, like that. It's exactly, yeah, it's true. They never really did anything original. I can't really think of, maybe Mary Poppins is original, but I think that also could have been a book.
I don't know. Mary Poppins was that before or after The Sound of Music?
I'm gonna say before, because I think that's what got her. Yeah, it's a year before.
Julie Andrews.
Yeah, I think that's what got her that part. Okay, yeah. I don't. It doesn't look like this. Oh no, this is not. It's from a book. Yeah, all right. So it's from a book. Yep. It's from a book from the 30s. So yeah, like everything here, it really is I can't think of anything that they've actually done that's original. You know, even like Aladdin's, like, you know, based on the what is it, Arabian Nights kind of stories. Like, there's a lot of these fairy tales that they pulled from. But yeah, they make you feel like it is, or they're just not telling you that, you know, this is something else. And he didn't
Yeah, they went from a gay white genie to a gay black genie.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta gay it up these days. Make it gay, man. That's what they did to Willow.
Robin Williams was, I know he was married and stuff and had kids, but I always thought he was gay.
He kind of seems like it, but I don't know.
There's gonna be a lot of gay guys that have like a wife and kids, right? You know, just to keep the facade going so they can get more gay ass.
Yeah, I mean, that one guy, Tim Curry, always seemed gay, but I don't think he is, which is strange.
From
maybe he is.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, or like Home Alone too, or whatever.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, if
Maybe
you're straight and you become a gay icon, you're not straight anymore. Like, you're just gay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this thing, like, I think that's kind of like Travolta,
like
too.
Tim Curry could be like some, you know, hardcore, like, conservative, hates fags, but he'll forever be known as the guy who wore garter belts and sang in Rocky Horror, you know, like the musical movie.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I think that's what I was gonna say. Even with Travolta, man, like, I think the fact that he was like such a dancer, I think he got taken in by the gays in a sense. Even if he isn't or is, he seems like he is, but that was his in, or at least that's how he's perceived. I mean, you're not seeing people going around dancing like that in Des Moines, Iowa. You know what I mean?
I don't know. He kind of mixed it up with Urban Cowboy.
Yeah, no, and then also, I mean, he has some tough roles too. I mean, the Pulp Fiction character is cool. You know, like, I mean, I think he's a good actor. I mean, Blowout is a good movie. That's another really good Travolta. I don't think he's bad. He's not particularly good though either.
Why he got the
Pulp Fiction
part, yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's
but also, like, you know,
movie.
Quentin Tarantino loved Brian De Palma. I mean, how could you not?
Yeah, and also that is his era of film that he loves, and I feel like Brian De Palma fits what he likes about a lot of films, especially like he was getting money. Like those were bigger level movies of the time.
I love Brian De Palma shit.
They still
Even
felt
like Snake Eyes. I
or the
like
Mission
that.
Impossible, the first one, man, is good. Like,
No, but just saying, like even his lesser stuff is still really good.
yeah, I think he's got a great. I totally get why like Tarantino connects with him in a sense, because it's just like even Tarantino's movies have a little vibe of that.
Well, and also Scorsese and him, even though they're contemporaries, I feel like Brian De Palma kind of was a little bit before him.
Yeah, and also, also Scorsese is different. Scorsese has his own. He definitely has his own style. Even though he kind of crossed into that 70s area and has a little bit of a similar feel, but I feel like it all became different. I don't know. He's got his own feel, especially recent stuff. Again, I'm not crazy. I don't know. That Killing of the Flower Moon, I still haven't put on because it's just so fucking long. I just don't like.
You know what's weird is he found superhero movies to be like roller coaster rides and not that impactful, but then also compounds that with the need to make like 4-hour fucking movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's almost like he's trying to go in the exact opposite direction of in the face of all that shit. It's like, okay, you want to watch my shit? You're gonna have to sit through, 5 hours of it.
Yeah. I also think there's not many people that can get away with it though, too. So I think he knows, like, I can get away with this. I'm gonna do it. I'm allowed to do this. Like, he's reached that point where they let him do whatever he wants.
I guess this is when you go from doing blow to I don't know, like morphine drip.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that,
Turtle Island was pretty good. I kind of like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, wait. Which one? The Island? Shutter Island. Yeah. That one's good. That one's creepy. That's also a little bit, again, that's out of his style.
Of this newer shit.
But also a little out of his style, though, which is cool. Like, he is someone who can switch it up. Like, even that, did that Buddhist movie that was pretty good. Oh, what's the one with that? Little Emperor or something like that?
What, with Eddie Murphy?
No, it's called Kundun. It's a 97 movie. Yeah, that one's pretty good. Even that movie Silence is really good. Have you ever seen that? That's one that got swept under
with Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, that one's really good. That's a very good film. And it kind of got swept under the rug because I think Hollywood doesn't want anything to do with religion. So it's like they swept that one under, but they let him do it because it's Scorsese. But you don't hear about that one.
No, yeah, that came and went real quick.
I don't think it even got any acclaim, which is weird for him back then. Like he was getting everything. I don't think it got. I'm looking. It didn't get nominated for anything. It didn't get any award nominations. You would think it would. But yeah, like I said, I don't think they like. I don't think they like when you go into stuff that's religious these days. Start to come out like Caviezel or whatever, Jim Caviezel. But yeah, another very religious person was Tolkien. That's another thing too. He's super Catholic. He stopped being friends with C.S. Lewis because C.S. Lewis got divorced. So he abandoned him. He was not a good Catholic anymore, so he couldn't deal with that. That's all it took back then. And yeah, he was influenced by the Brothers Grimm, which we were saying is kind of a dark. If you're ever reading it, that shit is really fucking dark. Like the real Hansel and Gretel story is really dark. All these things. And he considered, the Snow White, Seven Dwarfs movies probably just a little bit too stripped of all the depth and seriousness and being infantile type story, which is true. But I think that was the audience. So I don't know. I think he's a little harsh on Disney. I think Disney looks so much worse now, but I mean, also I wonder if he'd be rolling over his grave with what Amazon did to his series too. So
yeah,
who did it better? Who did it worse? I don't know. You sure about that? Sure about that there?
You sure about that? You sure about that? That's why? You sure it wasn't because after the thing that happened to me, no one could look at me without dying laughing? You sure about that? You sure about that's not why?
That's about all I got tonight, by the way.
It's fucked up. Like in the clip, Warwick Davis like is upset that the seatbelt reacted that way, but you gotta know that the seatbelt is not designed for you.
Yeah. I mean, I also think I think he's kind of funny with
a lot of
Willow
people
thing.
who normally wear seatbelts accidentally get decapitated. If he puts that shit on, it's like a full 90%.
Yeah, I also think he takes himself so seriously too, and it's like he's such a serious actor. But it's like, dude, you made money from dressing up as a little bear.
Well, who's the most prestigious full-on acting midget of all time?
It's gotta be Peter Dinklage, right? I mean, I think it's only him and Dinklage, right?
I'm trying to think of well, I mean, I know people love Vern Troyer, but his stuff has always been a complete, meme joke.
Man, I think it really is. It's all right. I'm looking at it. All right.
I just saw Vern Troyer was, I don't know what the fuck it was. It was like some celebrity. Everyone lives in a place at once, but he had like a little motorized cart, and he was completely hammered and just pissing all over the place. And then eventually he parlayed that into some celebrity rehab shit.
Oh, I remember this. I totally remember. Then I think he did die, right? Probably from alcohol poisoning. I think he did have issues.
Oh, he died from alcohol poisoning?
I mean, I know he died. I thought it was something with substances.
Then I guess it wasn't a bit. It was just
no. I think it wasn't a bit. Yeah.
It was just his existence was horrible, and that's how he dealt with it.
Also, I mean, dude, when you're like 2 foot tall, I mean, he was 2'8". He had to have issues with the organs and shit. So it could have also been.
I know, but
oh no,
I didn't know he was like borderline suicidal.
Yeah, his death was ruled a suicide by alcohol intoxication.
Well, I guess when you're that size, it doesn't take much to fuck you up, and then
probably not at all, man.
Like constantly, saying like, "Mini, let me buy you a drink," and then after a while, you don't even know what the fuck's happened. Your liver is like just overflowing with toxins.
So here's the top little people list here I found. We'll go through this to end things off. But Peter Dinklage is obviously number one. Oh
no, number one should be the guy who hung himself on the set of Wizard of Oz.
The little one, the guy who allegedly. Well, I think it's not true apparently.
But that guy is like more impactful.
Allegedly, here's the issue with that. There's definitely no evidence of it. There's no record of like if someone hugged themselves, police would have been called. There would have been a police record of it. There is no.
It is.
But the thing is this, man. This is old Hollywood. They could, probably get away with that kind of shit. I mean, it's Hollywood, baby.
Yeah. Weird. So we didn't do that this time. Cast a guy in the movie. Right. Andrew Burnap, great dude. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. It's Hollywood, baby. It's Hollywood, baby.
Please, no, I don't want this clip in the rotation.
I think it's super annoying.
Peter
Dinklage.
I do my best to forget that she exists and constantly be reminded of it.
Oh, I think the funny thing is her Hunger Games movie didn't do too bad. So it's funny how she had a lot of.
What was the competition at the time of release, though?
Wish, like the Disney movie, like shit the bed, and her movie actually did better than people thought. And then Marvel's was out. Like there was no competition, and no one really wanted to go see that Disney Wish Princess Black movie or whatever.
I don't think that's by accident.
No, but Peter Dinklage number one, Warwick Davis number two. So he does get the second spot here. Danny Woodburn. I always liked him, the guy from Seinfeld.
And Death to Smoochie.
Yeah, and always I remember. I don't know if you remember. He would always wait. Actually, no. Oh, dude, I'm thinking of a different one.
Honestly, I think I don't know. That's Smooshy's like one of the better things I've ever seen.
There's another one who was in Willow. He was like the sidekick to Willow. He'll probably come up in the list here.
Linda
I don't
Hunt,
know his name. Linda Hunt. This is someone I do not know. I guess she was. Oh, she was a photographer. Okay. Tony Cox. Know him. He's definitely not as good as the others. But when you want an ethnic midget, he's gonna get the part. You know, like he'll get, you know, any kind of black
Isn't
movie,
he
he's getting the call.
That Fairley Brothers movie with Jim Carrey.
Yeah. Me, myself, and Irene.
Myself, and Irene.
Yep, he's the guy
That
fucking
movie's
the
fucking
ex-wife.
good.
Yeah, it makes you feel weird though. It's one of those
No,
movies that makes you feel really weird.
All their shit is like so gross.
Yeah,
And
that's like I think the first one that.
And also, they live in like this weird universe where I don't know, people just respond and react to each other in such off-putting, unrealistic ways. It's like very cartoony.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know Billy Barty.
Billy Bart. I was gonna say I don't know who this is. The name sounds familiar. I feel like I remember. I've heard someone mention the name before.
Yeah, maybe on
like Larry Sanders or
Jeopardy.
something like, or that. Like I could see that. Deep Roy, I know because he's like used often.
Yeah, for some reason, Tim Burton has this big heart on for this guy, right?
Yeah, he does. Oh, I didn't know he was in the Neverending Story. I don't remember him in that like at all.
Do you have a screenshot of that? Because yeah,
I'm trying to think who he was. I mean, I could seeing some characters because remember, there's all those like weird, freakish people in like that city. Like, do you remember that? Like, there's these like freakish people that were in like around the princess. Oh, no, you know what? You're gonna totally remember who he is. He's riding the slug or the snail.
Shit.
Yeah, now it's like he wasn't. He had a. Yeah, here he is. Remember this? He's like the guy riding the slug with the weird bat guy. He's friends with that
It's
weird.
Like some Willy Wonka shit.
Yeah. Oh, that dude. That's a. You know, speaking of that, like that's a good movie. Like I didn't. You know, like I said, I liked Willow, but like this.
You know what's fucking weird? It's awesome. Like he's just like Willy Wonka, and then
gets the part.
Was later on in the Willy Wonka movie.
That's how it goes, man.
Yeah, I love the Neverending Story. That's something like I do and don't want to get rebooted, just because I want like people to know about it and remember it, but also I don't want it to be like some, you know, Chalamet wave fest.
Right, it probably would be. David Rappaport is in Time Bandits. I know Time Bandits. I like Time Bandits. There is a bunch of midgets in the movie, but none of them stood out as a person I could actually remember. I'll say that.
Well, I guess this is like the king midget of that crew.
I don't even really. I can't remember that though either. I don't think there was.
Well,
one
he's
that was like
3'11". The rest of those assholes are probably.
Oh, maybe that's why.
9
maybe he stuck out because of that. This is the guy from The Plane. This is a little before our time, but I know who he is. Yeah, I don't think it's Love Boat. I think it's Fantasy Island. Right? Is it Fantasy Island or Fantasy something?
I thought it was both.
Fantasy Island.
Boat? Who's the Love Boat guy?
There's no midget on the Love Boat. They didn't let them in.
Yeah, there is.
There's no Love Boat. I don't think there's any midget on the Love Boat. I don't think that. No, I don't think so. Oh, it is him. I think. No, wait. No, it's not. I think everyone's confusing Fantasy Island for this. Other people are. Wait. No. You have a point here. Love Boat, the show, is like a sequel series to Fantasy Island. So, yeah, there's something there. I don't know my 70s TV that well, I guess. Wasn't around. Never saw either show. I mean, the Love Boat I remember was on Nick at Night, but I think I turned the channel when that came on. So I could
James
have saw
Stewart
that
was
one.
on the Love Boat.
Oh, cool. He was always good. The wife was funny
Tom
too.
Hanks.
Gary Coleman. Yeah, Different Strokes. Didn't really do too much after that. Oh, and then here's this midget from in Bruges. Got that guy, and he also was in Howard the Duck. Did he play Howard the Duck? Like, maybe he played. Yes, he did. He was in the suit. He wasn't the voice, obviously. He was in the suit. Oh, here's that weird midget lady from Poltergeist. Okay, yeah, all these people are recognizable. You just kind of forget about them. There's more midget actors than you think. Remember this weird lady? She had that. They all have that high pitched voice that sounds like they're getting like an effect on their voice, like
That
from a mixer.
motherfucker from Poltergeist is a midget.
Oh yeah, she's
I
four.
thought
She's
she was
4'3".
kinda shorter because she's old and
No,
shrunk.
she's 4'3". No, she's under 5 foot. That's all it is. Oh yeah, this guy was like this guy here was like the D-list midget that was like Vern Troyer. This guy Martin Kleba. He always would show up in a lot of bad like. Do you remember
From
this
that
guy?
knee-high PI shit-ass fucking comedy.
Yeah,
Central
or like
show.
any bad TV comedy movie, you might cast him, but you're not going to actually give this guy a part.
Ugh, man, fuck that guy.
Although it does look like does look like he has got a little part on Snow White. It says additional crew. He doesn't got a main dwarf role, but he's in it.
2020.
All right, this guy, the weirdo from fucking Twin Peaks and Mulholland Drive.
Yeah.
And who actually I know he's talked a lot of shit. I think he's gone on.
Wait, why the fuck is Vern Troyer so low?
It's a good point, man. He should be. This, by the way, this is
top 5.
This is a person's list. This is someone made this list on IMDb, but I found it, so.
Well, fuck.
I agree with you. He should be up here, especially above the weird fucking Twin Peaks midget guy. But I know he talked all this shit on. He talked a bunch of shit on David Lynch. I know he was like talking shit on David Lynch.
Really?
Yeah, like he was like,
bro, you're lucky to even get casted.
Right. I think that's sort of what everyone was kind of saying. Like,
unless you like writing brilliant shit, you need to just shut the fuck up and just know your lines.
Yeah, I think he did talk some shit. He said something about his daughters. It was like a weird thing, and that's why they didn't cast him to be back in that third series. Like the recent Twin Peaks series, because he had issues with David Lynch. Yeah, Vern Troyer should be high on the list. He should be.
You got to pick your battles, asshole.
Should be in the top 5 at least. This is the guy I was thinking of. The other character in Willow, Phil Fondacaro. And I actually think he also had a part on Seinfeld, being the friend of that other guy. And I remember he did a movie with the Olsen twins called Double Double Toilet Trouble. I remember him from that, where he was like an elf. Let's see.
Yeah, the Black Cauldron's pretty dark for a children's movie.
Here it is. This is the character he had. Oh, that's a different movie called Troll. That was the.
Yeah, I like this guy. He's got a almost like weird 70s porn actor vibe.
Yeah, I always liked him too. I always thought he was good. He actually was good. He was an Ewok, by the way, so he's got to be friends with Warwick. Made his way.
Yeah, I'm
into
sure they ate
Ewoks.
off the same lower level craft service table.
Yeah, they made them hang out. Oh, is he dead? I hope he's not dead.
It was nice
like
today because nobody was in the office. They bought everybody food in the office.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, yeah, because
at least they did something.
Because they're paying like 2/3 of what they would if they bought everyone food.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's what you do. I mean, even like when I came in on last Friday, like our boss, he was leaving at 4:45. He's like, "You guys can go early if you want." And I was like,
4:45.
No, dude, it was like
early.
Dude, it was like by the time I like
4:45 is like.
Yeah,
you're already like fucking.
No, I was thinking the whole day, like it's just
Fuck
me
you.
and one other dude here, and I was like, "You're not gonna like come at like 3:00 and tell us like
4:45 is not leaving early."
I mean, I was finishing stuff anyway, so I was like, whatever. But like, and I knew I'm like off, whatever. But like, basically, by the time I packed my stuff up, it was 4:51, which is pretty much leaving at 5:00 anyway. So douchey movie.
No, okay. So when I was at the Jewish run place, they said, "Okay, guys, you can leave early at 4:58.
Oh my
We leave
god!
at 5." I'm like, like you
Wow.
trying to take credit for fucking this
Ooh,
kind
that's
of
bad.
shit? Like that's embarrassing. Like you need
Yeah,
to
it's
like
really bad.
you like you don't even know what's fucking going on at that point. You're so like detached.
These other ones, I'm trying to think. I don't think I
You
recognize these
think
next
people who
two.
work 40 hours a week and get excited over 2 minutes?
No, yeah, I think honestly, I think he's probably like just trying to be an asshole.
No, yeah, it's just trolling.
Yeah, I think it's just trolling.
It's
Debbie
fine,
Lee
though.
Carrington.
I'll sneak into his house and set it on fire.
For those 2 minutes.
But I'll make it look like an accident so he at least gets the
You wake him up
insurance.
and you shake him up and said, I was gonna set your house on fire at 5, but I set it at 4:50.
I mean, what I could do is just
Yeah.
take this motherfucker out with an aluminum bat and
Yeah.
break his legs 6 months from now.
I was gonna kill you at 5, but I decided 4:58 would be good too.
Oh, you know what's fucked up is like and having this like camera shit on my door. There's like so much weird shit going on all around like my
Oh, I bet. I wouldn't want to see it.
Never knew about.
I wouldn't want to see it
I'm
in an
like
apartment
watching
building.
like National Geographic fucking footage.
Yeah, in an apartment building, I wouldn't be surprised. And it'd freak you out, probably. Yep.
Oh yeah, like some of this stuff like these people are doing is just like
Picking their ass and all that shit.
So the last 2 weeks, the people under me have been wearing masks. Every single time
Wow.
they've been in and out of the house. Like,
Oh
what's
my
that
God,
about?
That's strange. That's strange.
Yeah, man, I'm starting to get like worried. Like, do they know something I don't know?
Maybe they have an illness and just whenever they're out, they have a mask on.
I know, but like but to me, like the point of
That's
wearing a
gotta be
mask
bad.
is you're around other people. The mask doesn't help when you're.
Oh, maybe they
completely
take it off when
yourself,
they go inside.
right?
Maybe they take it off. Maybe they just don't take it off from when they're out to when they come back.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
but
like
I've also seen a lot of people driving around alone.
not anymore. Have
in
you
their
seen
car
that though? I
with
haven't
a
seen it
mask
in a
on.
long time though. I haven't seen that in a long time. But maybe I don't look anymore.
Yeah, it's been a while, but like I still see it every
I
now and then. And whenever I see that, I'm
not
like
surprised.
I'm like
I just think
freaked out.
I don't see it.
Immediately, like, is there something going on I don't know about? Like, is the apocalypse coming?
Yeah, I think I just don't. I used to like
Does the mask
look for
save
it maybe
you
more.
from the Earth imploding or getting hit by an asteroid? Does the mask prevent that?
I don't think so. Oh, but speaking of with this, back to these little people. These three women. I have no. Do you know who any of these people are? Because I was trying to think. I've never.
They're
seen
midgets.
them. Yeah, they don't. I mean, this one Meredith Eaton does not look like one. The other
No,
two
I
I can
don't
see.
recognize them.
I could see some midgety stuff going on between those two.
Well, the way their headshots
Oh, you know what?
are done, you don't even know that they're small because their bodies aren't shown.
I do know Debbie. She's the midget waitress in Total Recall. I definitely know who she is. She's in the restaurant that gets like shot up. I think she's shooting like a fucking machine gun or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. It's her. Yeah, all right. I totally know who she
Who's
is.
the guy who directs that shit? Paul Vanderhoven or some shit?
Yeah, I think that was. It was. Yeah, I think was
The
that.
guy
Paul
who did
Vanderhoven?
Starship Troopers. That guy's fucking awesome. I love his
Was
stuff.
it?
He did
Oh, was
RoboCop.
it? Yeah, that movie's really good, man. That Total Recall movie's like really good. It has
Paul,
that.
I
Paul
did not
Verhoeven,
pronounce his last name correctly, but that guy's fucking great.
This Josh.
Oh man, this motherfucker's got like Joker lips.
Yeah, I don't remember him. All right, so Jack Purvis. All right, so these next two people, I remember them
from Terry Gilliam's stuff.
Yeah, and I remember them more in Time Bandits than the other one at the top of the list. I don't remember that. I remember this guy Jack Purvis a lot. I think you can't forget that face.
I'll be back. I gotta get some more.
I'm probably gonna start signing off too, man. So
okay,
I was gonna end it here, but good midgets, Kenny Baker, R2D2 at the bottom of the list. Because I mean, hey, he never left the suit, so I get you. All right, well, we're on.
Familiar.
He does too. Yeah. None of the other ones did though. I was looking at. I was like, I don't know the fuck who these people are. Yeah, man. But we're on Twitter. We're on YouTube. We're in a podcast. Find us anywhere. We're talking about
We
midgets
have a
most of the time.
Discord that
I have Discord. It exists.
we're not like
Search WizardShack.
on it, but it's still kind of functioning on its own.
It's still there. Yeah. Yeah, and also that's a wrap for tonight. So until next time. I want to do a best of show that's gonna be happening about the best stuff we like this year, the worst stuff. So that'll probably be the next show where it's like kind of a wrap up because the year is almost over. It's fucking crazy. We got 4 or 5 days here. So subscribe, all that shit, do that shit. You don't have to. You could put a finger up your ass. I don't know. Do what you want to do. See you guys.